Hey guys and girls, it's Hannah Saber from HA Images. In today's video, I'll be talking to you about the TOURBOX console, so stay tuned. It's been a while since I've done a review on any product. Due to COVID, lockdowns, restrictions on being able to go out, and taking advantage, trying to do a bit of work in my house, my studio, trying to finish up with storage, do different sort of things. I kind of got held back in doing product reviews. So now I'm back into it. So hopefully you'll be seeing more product reviews. I've got quite a few products lined up to do reviews. But in this video, we'll be talking to you about the TOURBOX. The TOURBOX it's like a remote sort of control where different button functions to be able to customize when you're doing editing in Lightroom or Photoshop. So basically, if you look at I'm currently using my Surface Book Pro. No keyboard or anything attached to it. I've actually reversed this, so I'm just using the screen as a tablet. And with the TOURBOX, basically, it just gives you an easier function to be able to use without using a keyboard. So applying any sort of shortcuts or anything, that's all done in your TOURBOX. So what I will do is just to go through with you on screen on what you do to set up and everything, and just go through what I've set up and how easy it is to use on this. One thing I did like about it, I thought when I got it, I actually thought maybe it wouldn't be as durable to use, maybe sort of like a bit of fragile, but it's actually a very solid built console, and it's very small, compact. So if you're going outdoors, you want to edit outdoors or anything, you can be able to bring this around. So it's not this large console that you have to bring to be able to edit on your Lightroom or Photoshop. As long as the program has shortcut keys, you can be able to use the shortcut keys on your TOURBOX, customize it. Lumina, I have not done. I've been using Lumina lately, but I have not been able to done because I'm not too familiar with the shortcut keys. But in Lightroom, when I'm doing my editing in Lightroom, very easy, quick. I am not using my keyboard, and it's a lot faster bringing my workflow. We'll go onto the screen and I'll run you through the setup. And now, once you get the TOURBOX, what you do, you then go onto your web browser and just type in tourbocstech.com. Once you enter that, you will be able to see the downloads section. You click on downloads and click on software. Now, it will come up and give you two options, whether you're a Mac user and Windows user. So it's compatible for both. So you download the software for your operating system. Once that is up, you will then have the TOURBOX menu like this. Once everything's up, as you can see here on the left hand side, I've got Photoshop and you've got Lightroom. So you can actually set up different settings that you want on the Lightroom and Photoshop. It comes with already its own preset. So basically you can actually use what they've already done, or you can create your own. Now what I've done, I've created my own in terms of what works for me and works for my workflow. With the TOURBOX, it does make your workflow a lot easier to use, and it's something I will highly recommend. And going through this, it will show you why I do recommend this console. On the bottom here, I've got the actual console and each button for what it is. So side, tour, dial, different names and everything. That way here, you'll see it. So if you put your cursor over the knob, you will see it will then point to where it is on the actual console. Then you can choose. Here, what I've done, going left, I've put the decrease slider value, and doing it right increases the slider value. So that way, whenever I'm going in through Photoshop, or Lightroom, and I want to change the exposure or contrast or whatever it is, I just turn that knob to be able to adjust it. I will show you, once I go through here, I will show you it on Lightroom, showing you how it works side by side with Lightroom, how it makes your work a lot easier. You've got the scroll button, which I use to zoom in and out, and I've set up the press to delete the selected photo that I don't want. So if I'm not happy with the photo, I just press the button and it deletes it. You've got the dial, which if you're doing you want to use the brush to adjust the exposure in certain areas or whatever you want, and you want to use the brush, you can use the dial to increase and decrease the brush. And then what I've used with the Surface Book, I've got the pen, so then you can just sort of, do what you have to do while you decrease and increase in the brush with that. So instead of using shortcuts on the keyboard, which takes a bit more time, you're just using dials and buttons. Here I've got the side button, which then I can add next photo selection, or I've got the top, which then goes to the previous. And then you've got sync, if you want to sync all your images, for example, if you're shooting a wedding or whatever, and you want to sync all of them with the same sort of preset or settings that you've used, applied in your first image, and you want to apply it, then you just sync it all. And the short button here, it's for undo. So if you're not happy with it, you want to undo it, you can undo it. I've also got here the button next to the dial, which is to view before only. And then you've got the cross buttons, up, basic panel, down, HSL button, left, split toning, and right detail. Now, you have other functions that then you can use if you did want it to, but I have not sort of applied anything on that because I've been really happy to what I have currently set. You can then do it to Photoshop. I haven't got it set with Photoshop, but then you can adjust where buttons, selecting layers or dodge and burn, adjusting the brush, adjusting opacity, whatever you want. As long as it has a shortcut, it can be applied onto the TOURBOX. So what we'll do now, we'll go straight into Lightroom just to show you now with the TOURBOX and how it's going to be applied easily onto the computer. So here, by just using my pen, I will then, for example, I want to adjust my temperature. If I want to do it manually, I just click on temperature. And then once that's been clicked, you'll see the highlighted part. And then you can just turn the dial right, increase the temperature, turn it down, and it decreases the temperature. So you just sort of play around until you're happy to what you want or what you vision for your photos. So I'll just quickly then just adjust just a bit warmer. Click on exposure if I want to increase the exposure slightly. Contrast if I want to add a bit more contrast into it. Highlights if you want to adjust, decrease or increase. So just by just that one button, that's all I'm doing is with the sliders. It's just, instead of you sitting there with the mouse and you're adjusting, by hand or whatever, you are just, or using a keyboard shortcut, you're just using the dial. That's it. Say you're happy with the highlights as it is, click on the shadow, you want to increase the shadow. There you go. You want to see the before and after, press this button, shows the before. Press it again, comes back after. I'm happy with that. Click on the whites. Maybe I want to increase the whites a little bit. Decrease, add a bit more black. Yeah, I want to go clarity. Click on the clarity and just increase it slightly. Back again, before and after. So I'm happy with that. If I then want to, if I press left button here, it brings me to my split toning. So then again, you click on the hues, you just increase to wherever you want. Want it more in that warm tone, increase saturation slightly. The hues, argument's sake, I want to go more in the blues. Yeah, about there. Increase the saturation a little bit. And then just adjust the balance. So you just sort of play around until you're happy with where you want it. So just go before and after. So I'm pretty happy with that. If you press down, that'll bring you into your hue, saturation, luminance panel. And then if I want to do right, that will then bring me into detail. So this is what I have currently set up on here. But if I want to press the side, so if I want to select multiple photos, I just press the side button here where I've selected to select all the photos from the right. I'm happy with that. And I just press this button here, which then I have it set to sync. Click on it, bam, I'm happy. The image is all sync. If I'm not happy with everything, I want to undo it, I have the undo button selected there. It undoes all the synchronization. If I press this, it will then deselect the photos that are currently selected. And if I wanted to select the photos previously and do the same thing, I can do it, or I just go on that. It is a very quick and easy way of sort of doing a workflow, being able to go on the go and, just use a tablet. Like, I'm using Microsoft Surface Book. If you have the Surface Book, Surface Pro, or any laptop that turns into a tablet, you can and not worry about the keyboard. Just tuck away the keyboard and just apply using just a TOURBOX and your pen. And it's just very simple and very quick to use, and it is something I'll highly recommend. And the good thing about photography in today's world is that amount of accessories that they are bringing out to be able to help photographers with quicker workflow, being able to, last thing we need is to sit hours on end in editing images and taking our time, like not taking our time, but like doing things that will take time, that way we can sort of quicken the process. Because at the end of the day, we don't want to sit there hours on end and make little money. Obviously, with photography, we want to make as much money as possible and as quick and efficient workflow to be able to make that money, to keeping the clients happy and rolling in other jobs at the same time. You don't want to sit there 3-4 weeks doing 5 photos, or for example, argument's sake, you want things to help you quick to go through everything. And this is what I like about the TOURBOX. It is something I will highly recommend. There is a link below that you can click on to purchase the TOURBOX. Any purchases through that link will help support this channel to bring up more future gear reviews for you guys. So I've got product reviews for lenses, bodies, accessories, bags, everything. I've got a whole list I'm planning to do. So please do subscribe and like to my channel for future videos. If you did like this video, please like and share. Until then, guys, we'll catch you later. I hope you guys enjoyed.